Okay, baby, we're on now. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we might be in business. Sorry for the delay. Let's make, just double check. Let's see what we got here. Okay, folks. Now we're live. All right. Eventually, we're going to get this thing all settled one day. Everything worked. For some reason, it took about, I don't know, 10 minutes for you guys to get on here, which I apologize for. Okay, so let me get set up. Okay, everybody's watching, people are watching. Hopefully, we didn't lose anybody here. Welcome to COVID-19 Iron Chef. This is Quarantine Kitchen Survival. Something I thought about. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. What I'm going to do is we're going to give you some tips and everything on what's going on, how to safety tips, things to do, ideas on what to cook. Also, I want a lot of little participation, or I would like participation on your part. Tell me if you're thinking of, you got chicken, you don't know what to do with the chicken. Tell me what you got in the refrigerator, and then we'll set you straight. If I don't get to everybody today because of the time frame, I will get to you today. I will go over my messages and I will message you back. At any time, if you want to message me, you could go on Let's Eat LI. You can message me that way. You can message me on my other Facebook page, Felix Rastusha. I'm only going to take messages. I'm not going to take phone calls. So if anybody's going to call me on Messenger, I'm not going to answer. That's actually Mr. D Love, just to let you know. I'm cutting down on my phone calls right now. This is at a time of peace. We need a little peace in our household. We're starting to enjoy it. And that's about it. So now that we're on, I can start to proceed with the show. Okay, great. First of all, I hope everybody's drinking hot fluids. You should have at least 3 hot fluids a day. This is not coffee. What I have here is some hot water, honey, lemon, and a packet of Equal, and it's delicious. I'm going to tell you about other ones you could make. I urge everyone to have a hot drink. Next time you're watching my show, I want a hot drink in your hand. On Quarantine Life, when I'm on, I want a hot drink in your hand. Anytime you watch a governor show, I want you to have a hot drink in your hand and drink it, because it's going to help. What it does is it pushes down, if you have any kind of virus, it pushes it down into the stomach, and it gets destroyed in the stomach through the intestines and everything from all the enzymes and everything else, which is quite interesting if you think about it. All right, so let's see if I got any feedback before we start. Okay, I got Gina Congemi, I got Georgia Rose. Hello, Georgia. How are you? Hopefully you'll be on my show after this is over. You got Tony, Greg DeFlippo, Gina Congemi, all watching. Okay, hopefully that's not everybody. All right, so the first point is today, I want to give a shout out to one of our viewers, Vicky Ott. I hope she's doing well. She's been having some health issues lately, and we just hope that she is in good shape now, which I'm sure she is. I see her on Facebook, so it looks like everything's working out for her. So, Vicky, we go out, give a shout out to you. Okay. Also, I want to give a shout out to Ed Steitzel. He's a very good friend of mine. He's going to be having an operation, and we want everyone's prayers and wish him well. Okay. Now, before I start, let's go over things that you need to know. Okay. I'm sure a lot of people know this already, but I just want to go over it. This way, perhaps I'm able to get you guys going in a way. thinking more consciously about safety, more about things that bring more light, with the COVID virus and everything. All right, so hopefully you see me okay. If you don't, let me know. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start with food safety. All right. Now, what we're gonna do is obviously I have a glove on. I'm gonna put the other one on in a moment or two. Your kitchen, obviously, there could be things around your kitchen, and you need to sanitize, and you need to also protect your food and everything else. Okay. To start off, okay, always clean down the kitchen counters and everything like that, especially after you go shopping. What you want to do is you want to use a sanitizer on the kitchen counters, wipe them down, even along your kitchen, your handles, anything like that. If you don't have any sanitizer, if you have bleach, you can use a cap full of bleach with water in a spray bottle, which works just as good. That's what they do in restaurants. They do stuff like that. What else? Also, when it comes down to your temperatures in your refrigerator should always be 40 or below. Probably 38 degrees would be a good temperature for your refrigerator. What you want to do is you could get yourself a kitchen thermometer. I don't know if there's any available now, but you can hang it in your refrigerator and you'll see your freezer obviously has to be 32 and below. Okay, the reason for this is because between 41 and 140 degrees, actually, bacteria and all types of things can form on your food. Okay, with the other temperatures, there's no way that anything can form with those particular temperatures. So you want to be careful with that. You want to make sure, especially around this time, you want to check your refrigerator. You don't want to get sick or anything and have to go to a hospital or an urgent care center where you could actually catch the virus. All right, so you definitely don't want to do that. Let's see, what else? I only have one person here. Georgia Rose is the only person I have right now watching. Okay, hopefully other people are. All right, so you have that. Then the next order is you should wear gloves if you're preparing food. I always like to, I had to when I was a chef, but I like it. Who really likes enjoying touching chicken and raw meat and everything like that? So that's why I like to use gloves. If I have to, I will, but I make sure I wash my hands. Obviously, you always have to make sure you wash your hands. And according to now, you have to wash your hands for at least 30 seconds, which is happy birthday 2 times. It used to be just happy birthday 1 time, but now we have it 2 times. When you use a cutting board right here, okay, you want to actually have about 3 cutting boards at least in your kitchen. You're going to want one for your produce. You want one for your meats, your raw meats, shelf food. Make sure you always wipe those off and sanitize it. And then you want one for your prepared foods, like after you make a roast, you want to carve it or something like that. The reason you don't want to cross-contaminate, and if you're always using, I usually get, or you can usually get different colors for what the purpose is of the cutting board. That's what you want to do. Okay, so that's out of the way. When you're using a knife, I have a nice little chef knife right here. You want to always use it this way. You never want to put your fingers over here or anything like that. You can hurt yourself. If it falls, you want to step back, just let it drop to the floor. You don't want it to go into anyone's foot or anything like that upon landing. So that's part of it. When you see what I got here, when you go out now, especially on this time of year, and then because of our situation, if you have to go grocery shopping, it looks like pretty much the grocery stores are doing their part, sanitizing and doing everything else, separating people. Now they have one-way aisles, which I understand is causing a little bit of anxiety for people, but it's a necessary thing that has to be done. Instead of road rage, now we have supermarket rage, where people get a little, uptight about when someone's going the incorrect way. Unfortunately, you can't get a ticket like you can out there. Okay, I got a Peter Ferrandino from Allentown, Pennsylvania, hello. Again, Georgia Rose, hello. Gina Kajani Coffee is there. Let's see what it says here. You definitely have more than Georgia. I see the numbers. Okay, great. Well, that's good. So now I don't feel bad, and I can continue. Okay, so I have a couple of things here I was reading up with the coronavirus, with what's going on. A lot of things have to do with, well, while you're home, a way to combat getting the virus. Even though you're home and you're isolated, there's certain things you have to do. One is eating healthy, and eating healthy diet, which in some cases, in my case too, can be a little difficult. But you have to try your best, okay? Again, here's another being physically active. I have a bad hip, so it's hard for me. But at least if you get up and down, and you can move around the house, you could do certain things. A lot of people have their exercise equipment. You know, try and still get that into a regimen. You have to manage your stress, because believe me, there's a lot of stress now. I know I caused a little stress with my wife about an hour ago. I have a bad habit of knocking things over and making a mess, and she's right there, as she always is, cleaning it up. What a wonderful woman she is. And she's listening now, which is partly what I'm saying. Okay, and sleep. Sleep is also a very critical part right now of what's going on. Okay? So getting back to grocery shopping, metals and plastic, you know, the virus can stay on, so make sure when you come home you have any plastic, metal containers that you got. Just make sure you sanitize it. One thing you have to think about is when you get groceries, obviously your freezer and your perishables, you know, have to get put away in a refrigerator or freezer or anything like that. But things that aren't perishable, you can clean them, and they say try not to use them for a couple of days. Why is that? Because if the virus can possibly linger, you know, for at least 24 hours or more. So by leaving it somewhere and it's cleaned and not using it, it gives you an opportunity to have less of a chance of catching a virus that way. Okay, nothing to fear. I mean, pretty much, it's not really, you know, it's not that detrimental. Let's see. When you go to the supermarket, they have wipes. Use the wipes. Let's see, what else? We talked about the close contact. Don't use their bags. Try and bring your own bags. Okay, you can do that. And then we have here what I just said about putting away everything. Right, and surfaces fresh. Okay, and then putting away everything you need there. Okay, great. So that subject is covered pretty much. What you want to do is you want to do, let's see what we got here. Takeout. When you're going to have takeouts, obviously the best takeouts, which a lot of restaurants are doing, is service right to your car. And sometimes they put it right in your trunk and you have to worry about it. As far as cooked foods are concerned with takeout, you don't have to worry about the virus. But you may want to clean the container if it's like the other day we had Chinese food. My wife immediately took it into the kitchen and she sprayed it and sanitized it and everything else. And speaking of sanitize, when you have your vegetables, your produce, you want to wash them good. And there's also a veggie wash that you can use. You get a little scrub brush that you never used before, so it's sterile. And then you can clean your vegetables and everything like that by using this veggie wash. Great thing to do. Alright, so pretty much we take out, they got that. Alright, one thing like that you can do as far as when you go shopping, it's always good to maybe plan out meals, although it doesn't always work out that way because you don't know what they have. Okay, which is why I have this show too, maybe to help you guys out in that situation. And that could, you know, reduce some of the stress that you have here. It says here, what else we got? Let me see, I got another good subject. Okay, now let's get into healthy tips. Okay, I'm going to get into healthy tips now. Alright, let me put this here. Okay, for healthy tips, here we go. Here's 5 healthy tips for fighting the COVID-19 virus. Ready? Keep up with your fruit and vegetables. Okay, make as much of them as you can. Obviously, if you're going to cook a meal, you always want to have your carbs, your vegetable, and your protein. Try and always keep that in your head when you're doing that. And try and get extra fruit in your body for snacks. Any way you can, you know, Um, Even bring some fruit into your main dish. You could do that. Okay. Try and get fresh vegetables and fruit if you can't. You could swap them for um, canned vegetables. But what I would do is I would rinse them. Okay, because they may be a little salty. You could rinse out the if they call for it, well, you could rinse out the canned vegetables. You could do that. Um, Three would be to build up a stock of healthy snacks. Okay, why is that? Because you want to get healthier snacks into your body. You want to keep it away. Um, so they suggest nuts and cheese are good. Yogurt, dried fruit, okay, and hard-boiled eggs. So when you go to the store, if they have eggs, get yourself 2 dozen, okay, and hard-boiled at least a dozen. Keep them in your refrigerator for a snack. Be great. I'm sure you guys did it for Easter. If anyone calls Easter eggs, you can do that. You can make yourself some deviled eggs, a little mayo, a little paprika, salt, and pepper. Mix up the egg yolks, then put it back into the egg, the egg white with the circle. You could pipe it in with a piping, which you would use like to on cakes or something or cupcakes. Um, if you guys have that equipment, I would recommend that. All right. So that's one other aspect. That's the third one. And the fourth one would be, which could be a little hard, but not quite. You got to limit the processed foods. Okay, I have cold cuts that will be considered processed food, so you want to try and limit it by maybe for lunch or something, eating whatever you have in leftovers. Try and be creative in that idea, which I can help you out. Okay, and then the fifth thing would be to make cooking and eating a fun and meaningful part of your family. Okay, and that's something I can help you guys out with. Um, you could do different themes. Um, you should have at least one comfort food. Okay, a week. If you want, you could do more depending on what you want. Um, Comfort food is great, especially around this time. It reminds you back when you were a kid. Um, what else can I say? Everybody loves comfort food. Now's not the time to be a great chef or anything like that. Just make something that health, like, you know, this is what comfort food does. Make it comforting for everyone. A comfort food reminds you of the good times, and that's why I would recommend it too. Okay, another thing is you have to, let's see, there's something that was very important here that I saw. Where is it? Maybe it's on the other thing. You want to get you want to get zinc in your body also, and you all know that zinc is something that prevents colds and it also fights viruses because a cold is a virus. So you want to have more citrus, red bell peppers. You want to go into spices like ginger, garlic, turmeric. Okay. Um, Put that more into your food, okay, because it has zinc in it, and it's going to help you fight colds and viruses. For other foods that are really rich in zinc, and I don't know if you can get your hands on this, oysters, clams, mussels, cashews, which are a great thing to snack onto. Cashews, liver, if you're a liver fan, any kind of beef, and egg yolks. Again, here goes the hard-boiled egg. You have the egg yolks in there. Okay, so that's one thing you definitely want to look into. Okay, as far as some ideas are concerned, again, you can make a schedule. Sit down with everybody, make a schedule of what you want to make, see what everybody else wants, and you do like a daily plan if you want. That can also help you with your shopping. Okay, there's apps out there that can help you possibly. Although right now it is difficult to shop and get what you want. It's not that we have a shortage of food, especially like a lot of the dry goods and everything like that. It's just that people going in there and buying them so fast. It's just a question of not so much a shortage, but getting into the stores all the time where it can reach a level of when it stops like that. Okay. It says here you should be saving some money now, hopefully, but I don't know about that. What else? You want to manage your environment. So In other words, whatever you see, try and whatever's left in your cupboards, try to see what you could do to get rid of it. Not get rid of it, but at least to utilize it in what you're going to be eating. Okay. One thing I thought was really great, especially in terms of trying to get less sugar in your body, and to drink. Again, you need the hot liquids. You also need to have water. You need to hydrate yourself. I would recommend at this time, especially, to do the infused waters. Okay, you could actually go on Amazon. They have what they call infused water pitchers, and it's a cylinder in a water pitcher where you put whatever you're going to use to infuse your water. Like for instance, you can make a cucumber lemon water. Okay, by putting the cucumbers and the lemon in that tube, and then it infuses into the water, that's delicious. Citruses you could put in there. You could put strawberries and blueberries in there, and you can have that tasting water. I would put kiwi and strawberry probably. That would be nice. Or kiwi and lime. You could do that for water. Some people like to put ginger in their water. You could put ginger with some lemon. Okay, for some water you could do that as well. Okay, and again with the spices, you want to look into that. So that's basically some things that can help you to combat the viruses and also make things maybe more interesting for you when you eat. As far as the hot liquids are concerned, obviously I have coffee in the morning. People will drink tea. I can't have tea. So that's one hot liquid. The other hot liquid is what I just mentioned. You have the hot water, the honey, and the lemon. And if you want, you can drop a pack of sugar or an equal sugar substitute in there as well, which is great. Hot chocolate. Last night, or the other day, my wife made me a hot chocolate, which I really appreciated. So it was kind of like a treat for me. So she did that. You could do, if you want to get into alcohol, you could do Irish coffees. You could have coffee, packet of sugar, an ounce of Irish whiskey, Bushmill, Jameson, or whatever kind of whiskey you want to use. If you have whipped cream, you can put a little whipped cream on top. If you want to get really into a real Irish coffee, if you have a blender and some half and half or heavy cream, you can just blend it a little bit where it gets like heavy and viscous form, and just pour it on the top of your Irish coffee. You could do liquors. You could do brandy and tea. Anything that's hot that you want to put down in your body in order to combat the the virus, definitely do it. I don't care if it's alcohol, if it's not alcohol. I worked in a hospital. There was a lot of Caribbean people there. What they would do is they would actually boil water with fresh ginger, okay, so that it infuses into the water, and then you could put like some honey in that. You can put what they did, a little cayenne pepper. Cayenne pepper is very good. It's going to clean out everything in your body when you do that. So that's just some ideas we got, and if you need to know more, be happy to message me, and I'll be happy to give you those ideas. Okay, let's just double check before we get into other aspects here. Looks like we're rolling here, thank God. I was getting a little worried. I got Stephanie Evolella. Actually, Stephanie was on our show. She was one of my palette girls. She came on the show during the last summer, and she had a good time, and I'm glad she's watching actually now. Okay, we got Rosa Mazuka from Canada. Hey, all right, from Canada. We got someone from Canada. I hope everything's going good over there. I got Jeff Bosey, who's always watching. Jeff, do you work? Well, obviously now you're not working, but Jeff, it's good to see you on the show. Again, we said Georgia Rose. Hopefully Georgia Rose will come on one of our shows. We'll have a nice show for her. Kevin Ross. And he's saying, yes, the psychology of this thing is hard to deal. And thanks for sharing, brother. Stay safe. There you go. Okay. Jeannie Kajemi says, do not take gloves off and drop in parking lot. That could happen to a lot of people. Once they're off your hands, that's it. So you're going to have to do that. And every time you take off your gloves, you should wash your hands as well. Okay? hopefully we will practice what we preach. I've been here home. There's some things I may take for granted that I should be doing. So you got to try and keep that conscious in your head. Okay. All right. So what do we do next? No one has really given me any ideas yet on what to do, so I'm going to take a shot. Last time I was on the quarantine life, I mentioned some books. Here's the book that I definitely mentioned, which is called Kitchen Companion. It's called Cook's Companion, actually. There is another book called Kitchen Companion as well. And this one is by Carol Clements, and it's a great book. You're going to have everything you need to know. There's lots of recipes in here, a lot of comfort food recipes. Okay, it has pictures on how to clean things. All right, clean vegetables, the steps and everything that are involved. So I always keep this here. It doesn't hurt to have something like this. I had another one which is more French oriented, so I'm not going to really go into that. But here you can see that they have a pie that they're making some designs on and everything like that. So this is one book I definitely recommend everybody should have. Go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble and get it. Okay, and then this one, actually my mother gave this to me. Okay, I became a chef because she didn't want me to forget how to cook, you know, the comfort food and everything like that. So this is the Betty Crocker cookbook. I'm sure everybody knows it. It has here everything you need to know to cook today. Okay, and again, in here, there's a lot of tips. Creamy potato salad, 7-layer salad, you know, Waldorf salad. It has a lot of different things. It has marinades in here. Obviously, it has different meals. It gives you a picture of vegetables and what it's like. So this is a very handy book to have, and it could possibly help you. All right, not possibly, it will help you. Okay, so I got those books out of the way. What else we got here? So let me finish up here. What I'm going to try and do is mention a couple of things, like, let's talk about breakfast for a minute. Next week I have something else to show you for breakfast, but right now, I'm a big oatmeal guy. I hope you guys like oatmeal out there, and there's a lot of things you could do with it to even make it fun if you got kids and everything else. You could actually slow cook oatmeal. I don't know if anyone knows that. Just look at how many servings you want to do and the amount of water. Put it into your slow cooker. If you have those cinnamon sticks that are in your closet that you never use, take one out, or take 2 out, and put it in with the oatmeal. So that will infuse into your oatmeal as well. Okay, then you want to set it on slow, okay, for 8 hours. So you could go to bed, wake up, and you have oatmeal waiting for you. Okay, so when you get up and you see your oatmeal, you want to stir it. You want to add maybe a little milk or cream or half and half to it. Okay, which will make it nice and creamy. And then maybe you want to add a little brown sugar or anything else that you feel. Some people like to put apples in it and let it slow cook with the oatmeal, so that you have like an apple cinnamon oatmeal, which you could also do, which is kind of fun. Or actually, you can make a savory oatmeal by putting bacon and some herbs in there too, as well. But what you may want to do is, if you have kids every time, make like an oatmeal bar. You have bowls with different things that you can put in your oatmeal: fruits, granola. What else? Fruits, granola, the brown sugar. What else? Blueberries, obviously, strawberries, bananas. The granola. Any kind of wheat germ, if you want to put wheat germ in there. I like coconut in my oatmeal. You can put coconut in there as well. So those are some of the fun things you can do. And I could probably go on and on after thinking of other things to put in my oatmeal. Like I said, you could put bacon in, you could put raisins, dried cranberries, anything like that. Okay, so that would be a nice thing to do for breakfast. If you feel like doing that, that's something great. I love oatmeal. Georgia Rose says she loves the Betty Crocker cookbook, which I'm sure anyone around. I must say, I don't know how old Georgia is. I'm sure she's younger than I am, but everyone remembers Betty Crocker and the Betty Crocker cookbook. I think everybody's mother probably had that. Even though my mother was Italian, I didn't really cook a lot from that book. she still kept it, probably more for bakery, baking items, and other things like that. Or when she had to make a roast, anything like that that she needed help in. Okay. All right. Georgia Rose is going to be on Quarantine Life at 2 o'clock today. All right. After me, she's going to be on, which is great. I don't know how am I doing on time here. Okay, so we got till 1:30, so we still got about 20 minutes, which is great. Um, so again, anyone out there that wants to message me anytime, please do. Be happy to come up with something for you. If you're stuck on what to make, definitely we'll do that. Getting back to like hot liquids and snacks and everything like that. I was also thinking it would be really nice if you guys kind of do this way. You make sure you get your hot liquids and your snacking and everything all at once. You do a tea session, okay? If you go to my January 2nd show, I had a gentleman, an English gentleman on, who was talking about tea time and brought all different things on what you can do for tea time. Obviously, we may not be able to do all those things, but just to do a little bit of it would be nice. And I think your kids would love it. I think a lot of people love tea time, no matter what. And you can have that about 3 o'clock. You can have it when you're watching Quarantine Life if you want. But usually about 3 o'clock is good. So break out the tea or a hot liquid and make yourself something, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you, a lot of people use tea sandwiches, and I want to show you how to make a tea sandwich, all right? If I can right now. I was able to, I made some egg salad today, all right? Very simple. You want to make it very simple, and you want to do it in a food processor so that it mixes really well and it's easier to spread. Okay, the whole object when you make a tea sandwich is you need a spread in order to hold the bread together. Okay, I'm using a Pepperidge Farmhouse White, which is good. They have other variations. You can go pumpernickel or anything else. Or the correct thing to be is to go to your bakery, if you can now, to get like a rye, a pumpernickel, a white loaf, and have them cut it horizontally this way. It's like a big, long slice of bread, and then you can put your spreads on that, your meats, and then cut your tea sandwiches to the way you want. You could cut tea sandwiches with a knife. You could use something really cool for kids. You could use cookie cutters. If you have like star cookie cutters or anything like that, you could cut out the sandwiches, which is really neat. I'm going to make two right now, and then I'm going to make some suggestions for some more. I'm going to just adjust the camera here so that you can see what I'm doing. What do we got here? You see how it comes out to my cutting board. Hold on. Okay, oops. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Just bear with me, folks. There's so much to miss out on this. This is what happens when you can't use the engineer. I miss my engineer today. Let's see. Let's see what we got now. Alright, so I'm going to move this up a little bit. The camera up. Move this down. Alright, so here we go. Alright, so let me get my other glove on. So what we're going to do is we're going to make tea sandwiches here. I'm actually going to be making this for my lovely wife for lunch. So here we go. Alright, I'm doing egg salad, which is very simple. And then I'm also doing, let's see. I'm doing egg salad, and then I'm doing a ham and white cheddar. You could do other types, which I'll mention to you. But right now, I'm going to take my bread, okay, right here, right like that. Gotta get yourself some nice spreaders. I have some mustard. I would prefer to use honey mustard on the ham sandwich, but she doesn't like honey mustard, so you use regular mustard. And I'm just going over the bread, you want to try and get it all nice and even so that it all clings together when you cut it, okay? Let's get a little more here for the other one. I had a little more mustard in here, but then I had a little problem. I'm going to put that in my sink. Okay, so I have my mustard, and I have my sandwich here. Okay. Now, as you see here, I have my egg salad, and then I have my ham and white cheddar. So we're going to take the ham, we're going to place it down. You don't want to overstuff a tea sandwich. Again, it's just something to eat light. Okay. If you have any leftover ham for Easter, you can make ham salad, which is pretty neat too. I would use a little mayo and then honey mustard for it if I want to make it. Okay, so that, and then we're going to have our cheese, and we're going to put our bread together like this. Everybody see it? Okay, we're going to press down on it a little bit. We're going to have our knife, just be careful. I'm going to cut the edges off. Okay, cut the edge off here. Just go straight to the edge, cut it off, so you get a nice little square. Okay, we got that. Put this back in the bowl. Got one more. Okay. Alright, so we got that. So now what we want to do is, I like to cut them diagonally. Okay, it's a nice shape. And that's what we're going to do right here. Okay, and here's one. As you can see, here's one cheese sandwich right there. Put that in the plate. And here's the other one. Okay, so what you could do is you could make them like that, or you could make them straight. You could, again, use cookie cutters to make it look great. Okay, I have my other bread here, and I have my egg salad. So I'm going to take my egg salad, and again, you don't want to overstuff your sandwich because it's only for a snack, okay? So that should probably be enough. Spread is always good to have. It evens out everything pretty much. You just keep on spreading it nice. Okay, let's put that back. Let's put our bread on top. Okay, again, you can get different breads. You can go to the bakery, like I said, and you get it cut a certain way. And you're gonna cut off singles right there. Okay, so this time I'm gonna go straight. Okay, to make it more interesting. And I'm gonna put this back. All right. And I'm going to put this in the plate. I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. Take a cutting board. Now, whenever you use a cutting board, you always have to put a piece of paper or something down. They have these little rubber mats in order to keep it it keeps it moving, not moving, excuse me. Okay, so here we go. We have our tea sandwiches right there. You could put carrots, anything like that in there. For tea, you could get yourself some cookies. You want to make yourself some cookies. You could bake them, or better yet, go to the store if they have any Stella D'Oro type cookies would be nice. You could get that for tea time, any biscotti for tea time. You could get yourself, I have a recipe for scones if anyone likes that. Get yourself some strawberry jam, okay, and maybe some other jams, orange marmalade, anything like that. If you have Bisquick, you can make little biscuits, which are nice to go with that as well. Okay, so I have this, once again. This is for my wife if she likes for lunch. Would you like this for lunch, honey?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to put it right here for you, all right?
Okay.
So that's for Harriet, my wonderful wife, Harriet. I'm trying to be really nice because I kind of messed up before. All right, so she's one very special person. She works at home. She's got just this camera. Okay, as far as sandwiches is concerned, for the tea time, any kind of like chicken salad, you can make it the same process. Very simple, salt, pepper, and mayo, or if you want to use Miracle Whip, you can use Miracle Whip. I always like to put a little pinch of mustard to make it taste pretty good. Give it a little extra taste. Again, when you're using ham, use a little honey mustard for that. I also like, again, you can use your ham. You could get different cheeses to go with the ham. You could get Jarlsberg cheese. You could get brie, anything like that, and you slice it very thin. Use that for the ham. You could use turkey and brie with a mayo or a honey mustard, anything like that. You could do roast beef with a horseradish sauce. All that is just some mayo, horseradish, a little sour cream, a little salt and pepper, and then you just coat the bread. You put your roast beef down. If you want to add cheese to it, you can, but I wouldn't. And then you cut your sandwich the way I showed you. You could do for the vegetable people, for the vegetarians, which is very good because I've had this before. I used to make these. You could get some cream cheese and watercress, and you could blend it in your food processor, and you could spread it on your bread, and that's great. You could do cucumber sandwiches, which is very good. You could get like the English cucumbers if you want. If you have a mandolin to slice them very thin, you could do that, or take a knife and see how thin you can slice them lengthwise. You take some sour cream and mint, you mix it together. You coat your bread with that, you put your cucumbers on that, and then you cut your sandwiches. So those are great little tea sandwiches right there. If you get more creative, you could do an Italian one. You could do, get a little balsamic glaze. You could put it on the bread. You could put your one slice of salami, one slice of pepperoni, a provolone, ham, and make yourself an Italian tea sandwich. You could do anything like that, which is great. Great way to go. Let me see some of these comments here. Let's see what else we do. We got Kevin Ross, which I already mentioned. We got Rosa Mazuka. We got Jeff Mosey. We got Georgia Rose again, who says, "What's my favorite comfort food recipe?" I have quite a bit. I was just going to mention some ideas. I love Sloppy Joe as a kid. My mother didn't know what Sloppy Joe was. Again, coming from an Italian family. I brought it to my family, the Sloppy Joe. Once they had it, they actually really enjoyed it. I guess because it's kind of like an American meat sauce, if you think about it. But I love Sloppy Joe, and there's a few things I'd like to present to you for comfort food for Sloppy Joe, and I don't know if you're going to like them or not, but if you are a Sloppy Joe fan, you may actually like what I'm about to suggest. I came up with, the other day, a Sloppy Joe lasagna. How about that? Sloppy Joe lasagna. What you do is you either get the lasagna that you don't have to cook, okay, or you get the lasagna that you do cook. And then what you do is you get yourself the Manwich can, or you get your Sloppy Joe packet. Get 2 of those, get about 3 pounds of chopped meat, brown it, do the whole mix with the Sloppy Joe. Then get shredded cheddar. It could be shredded cheddar, it could be American cheese slices, anything like that. Anything you want to put on a Sloppy Joe. If you want to make a fancy Sloppy Joe, you could use a more expensive cheese if you want. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay down your lasagna noodles, then you want to put the shredded cheddar on top of that so that it's going to bind when you put the Sloppy Joe meat on there. Then you're going to top it off again with some more shredded cheddar. And then so on and so on, and you make your layers. If you want, you can put the shredded cheddar on top, or you get American cheese slices instead of the shredded cheddar, or you get American cheese slices on the top of your Sloppy Joe lasagna to melt. So that's one thing right there you can do with Sloppy Joe mix. One thing that I do here, I make Sloppy Joe pie. Sometimes I've been noted to make a Sloppy Joe pie. You can get those little muffin mixes of like corn muffins, and you get about 2 of those. You get a nice deep dish pan, Pyrex, 13 by whatever. You make your Sloppy Joe mix, you put it in the pan, then you make your corn muffin mix, and you lay it on top, and you put it in the oven so it bakes, and you have a nice corn muffin top. with sloppy Joe in it. So you don't need any bread or anything like that. You just make it. Also, you want to put some cheddar cheese on top of the sloppy Joe before you put your corn muffin mix on top. You could do that with taco meat too. That makes a great taco meat thing. You could, if you want to get really fancy, you could cut up some jalapeno, put a little cayenne pepper in the muffin mix with some onion, and then put that on it. So you have like a savory corn muffin with the taco meat, which is really nice too. So that's one thing for comfort food for this time around. I do have other comfort food favorites. Meatloaf is another one. We'll get into that another time. If anyone wants a good meatloaf recipe, I'll be happy to give it to them. There's lots of things you could do that you may not know what to do, especially with chicken and pork and chopped meat, things like that. See what's in your liquor cabinet. You could use those for sauces, whatever you want. For instance, if you're making meatloaf, if you have some brandy left or bourbon, which you can use for your pork chops. But if you have some brandy left, you can make a nice little pan brandy gravy for your meatloaf. Okay, you can put a little of the brandy in the chopped meat when you cook it. That's what they do with pate. Why not do it with meatloaf, right? That's what I say. What else? If you are cooking, if you have chicken cutlets, breast, you could saute them, okay, with some flour. If you have any bourbon, you can make a pan sauce with bourbon, and you have bourbon chicken, you pour it on top. You could make a melon chicken if you have any Midori. I can tell you how to do that. With pork chops, the same thing. You could get some brown sugar. First, you want to coat them a little bit with some bourbon, then you want to put some brown sugar on there and some other herbs, maybe rosemary, something like that. And you could grill the pork chops, which if you have a grill, which is great, that's great. You could put them in the oven. All sorts of things like that you can do. And I'd be happy again to tell you. So Georgia Rose, what is your favorite comfort food? Do you have a favorite? That's one question. If anybody would like to tell me what their favorite comfort food is, I'll be happy to announce it or anything else like that. Another thing what you can do is, again, with all this comfort food and everything, you can make little themes. You can watch movies. My next time around, we're going to discuss movies and television shows, maybe some themed foods to go along with that. Let's see what else I got here. Like, for instance, some of the people that I have on would be great for snacks, and we're going to go over that next Tuesday, because I'm going to be probably getting some samples of that. Our drink woman, the woman that owns all the liquor stores, she's going to give me some recipes for alcoholic drinks. We all need that every once in a while for a little pick-me-up. Alcohol is always good, even though if you drink too much of it, you can become depressed. What else do I got here? I guess I'm almost done. Spread the word. Have people message me, and I'll be happy to tell them. Again, I hope you like the Sloppy Joe ideas. I think I'm going to try that, probably coming up in the next couple of weeks. Next week, we're going to go over some more breakfast ideas. I'm actually going to try if I can make them here. I'll do the breakfast ideas, and I can show you. Also, come up with some more dinner food. Okay. Also, what to do with snacks, like for instance, little fruit and cheese platters for yourself is nice. When you do the tea time, again, like I said, get some cookies, whatever. Get some pound cake. Toast the pound cake. You could put jelly on it. You could toast it with butter. You could grill it that way. Speaking of comfort food, you could do a lot with grilled cheese sandwiches. You could do a grilled cheese sandwich dip. I don't know if anyone knows that. You could take grilled cheese, American cheese or cheddar. You could do a slice of tomato in there. You could do a slice of ham in there. Grill it, and then do a dip. Get yourself some Campbell's tomato soup or any other type of tomato soup. Put it into a cup. Cut your grilled cheese and just dip it right into the tomato soup. It's great. There's a lot of hors d'oeuvres that have been made that way. You could do different types. Instead of paninis, you could do different types of grilled cheese sandwiches if you don't have a panini press. You could do an Italian grilled cheese. You can do barbecue beef grilled cheese. Anything you want, you could make with whatever leftovers you have. Okay? What else we got here? What else could I say? Phew, I'm glad that I was on. I don't know what happened. It took a long time to get on, I guess, or maybe it was my mistake. Okay, we're going to be shut off in about a minute or so. I just want to thank everybody for watching. Again, man, I want a little more participation. I love talking about food and what to do with it. You could talk about soups. Another thing we could talk about. Lunch, breakfast. You know, we could talk about making a little pizza for everybody. Anything at all. I'm here to help you. Again, do the infused water. Hydrate yourself. Do the hot liquids. I want to see everybody drinking the hot liquids out there. I want you to do more cashews. Think about the zinc aspects of everything. Whatever would have zinc in it. It's going to help you out. Just watch old movies, watch feel-good movies, watch anything you want. I mean, I'll talk about movies next time, probably either on Quarantine Life or when I'm with you. TV shows. Might as well take advantage of it now, things like that. Break out your old albums with your kids. Show them what you were like when you were a little kid. If you got home movies, do that. What else? Take out some of the old board games if you got them. If you got Monopoly, if you got whatever. Go back in time. Why not? It was probably a happier time than we got now. All right? I know I'm the kind of guy that gets stuck. I'm more of a 20th century guy than a 21st century guy. I'm still stuck probably in 1960, working my way up to 1970. Maybe eventually by the time I'm 90, I'll be up to the 21st century. I don't know. But I love the old shows. I love shows like Get Smart, Star Trek, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. And you can all have access to all that now. Even the Leave It to Beavers. Have your kids watch Leave It to Beaver. They won't believe probably the show. And if you think about it, a lot of things do happen. At least when I was a kid, to Beaver, that happened to me. So, watch the movies. I know a lot of people are into the mobster movies. I got mobster movies you probably never even heard that you should see. Besides your Goodfellas and your Godfather movies, you got Valachi Papers with Charles Bronson, which is a biography of Joe Valachi, which is great. I love pictures. You got The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight, okay, which was a first of like a Robert De Niro when he was young. You wouldn't even know it was him. In fact, he had to give up some of the time from The Godfather to film that because he was in that movie, and that's a comedy that Jimmy Breslin wrote about the mob, which is interesting too. Then there's other mobster movies out there that they have. Obviously, Donnie Brasco is another one. So if you're into mob movies, I got mob movies for you. If you're into Dirty Harry pictures, I know everything about Dirty Harry. I know everything about Clint Eastwood. I love Clint Eastwood. Steve McQueen. I love Steve McQueen. If you haven't seen The Great Escape, where he's the Cooler King, you got to see that. Also Bullet, you have to see that as well. Going back to Clint Eastwood, he made a movie called Coogan's Bluff. And he made a movie called Coogan's Bluff, which actually was the basis for McCloud, if you guys remember McCloud. So that's it. I'm going to sign off now. I'm rambling. I hope what I showed you today was helpful. Again, message me. Go to Let's Eat LI. Message me. Felix Astucia, message me. Be happy. Nothing else to do to answer all your messages. You need a recipe? I'll send that recipe through Messenger to you. Anything like that, be happy and glad to help. Okay, so this is the first episode of COVID-19 Iron Chef. Okay, Quarantine Kitchen Survival with Chef Felix. I hope this is a good show, although I hope it doesn't last too long because I want to get back to the studio and bring you back to Let's Eat LI. It's been about a year for me. Actually, it has been a year in April that I've been with Governors and broadcasting. So Just want to thank everybody. Bon appetit. My table is always set for you, even in quarantine times. So take care and have a good day today. And drink some hot liquids, please. Bye.